So first thing I'm going to do, I already have this object is stored in S3 bucket. But if you are going to select it, copy the URL and paste it in the browser, you will be getting access denied. This is understood. Why so? I told you at the time of bucket creation, all the public access settings are blocked by default. You will not be able to access the object over the internet till the time you are providing the permissions or managing the permissions. Let's do that. Go back to your bucket, go to permission, and one way to manage the permission to the S3 is creating a bucket policy. Now, what we will be doing, we need to edit this setting. So for a demo purpose, you can untick all these settings here. Means you can disable this block all public access. Or what you can do, you can only disable the settings which you have to use in order to grant the permission. For example, I am talking about bucket policy. So let me keep these two settings disabled and I am enabling other two settings. Say save changes. You have to provide a confirmation here and say confirm. Now this part is done, but we have not granted any access yet. We have only changed the setting. So how to grant the access? One way to grant the access is using bucket policy. As the name is suggesting, this is a policy you are applying at bucket level. With the help of this policy, you can control the access to the bucket as well as objects inside a bucket. So click on Add and let's create a bucket policy. For that, we're going to use policy generator because if you don't know how to write a JSON policy, totally fine. You have a policy generator you can make use of. So click on policy generator and let's generate a policy, everybody. So first thing I'm going to choose S3 bucket policy. The effect is allow. Principal I'm going to provide star. So effect means do you want to allow or deny? Star means to everyone. Actions you can choose what actions you want to allow. For example, right now I am allowing get object access, so I'm choosing get object action. And now ARN comes into picture as the Amazon resource name, a unique identifier for the AWS resources. So this time I am performing an object level action, so I will be needing the ARN for the object. So one way to get the ARN for the object is you can go back to your bucket. Inside your bucket, the object you're talking about, open the object and take the ARN. This is the ARN of the object. If you want to frame it by yourself, you can see it here. Go back to policy generator. They have also given you the syntax. Okay, so choice is yours. What I am doing, I am going to take my bucket ARN because I know all the objects are present inside a bucket. Okay, so if I have to provide the object, I will be providing the object key. Okay, so one way is either you can provide a specific object key. Let's say this time my object is test.txt. Okay, but what about if you have more than one objects and you want to grant the permission for all the objects? Say star. So I have applied star. Okay, so currently I have allowed the public access from anywhere. But for the security reasons, let me add a condition or a filter. So click on add conditions. Here I'm going to add a condition. Means I am allowing the access only when the request is coming from my IP address. So choose source IP or IP here. Okay, IP address. The key would be source IP. This is a source IP. Okay, and you need to provide a value. So how you are going to check your source IP? For checking a source IP, you can type here, what is my IP address? And you will be getting your IP address which you're going to use. You have to use IPv4. Let me use it. For example, come back here, say this particular IP and you have to provide /32 because whenever we provide the IP address, we have to specify the CIDR notation. Okay, you don't have to get into deep dive. Simply understand for the time being, /32 means single IP address. Click on add condition, click on add statement, click on generate policy. So your JSON policy is ready, everybody. Okay, you can copy the policy. Let's click on copy policy, or otherwise you can select it and copy it. Come back here and paste this policy here. Okay, let's say save changes. Changes are saved. I am closing this policy generator. If I'm going to refresh my browser this time, I will be getting the text inside demo.txt or test.txt. Actually, I'm understanding S3 features. Okay, now the point is you can manage your bucket policies using policy generator. You don't have to write the JSON, and I am able to access this particular object over the internet. Okay, but I'm not done yet. I had to explain you versioning, and for explaining you versioning practically, I wanted to show this part. So using this, you also had gained an understanding that how can you manage or control the permissions. So first thing, what happens by default, S3 stores only one copy of an object at a time. Means if I'm going back and I'm going to the object, currently I have this test.txt. And if I am checking the content inside this, I'm understanding S3 features. Let's suppose I'm again going back to my Cloud Shell and I am editing this file. Okay, let's say I'm again using the same command, and if you have to add another line inside a file, for example, I'm writing like this, adding another line in the same file. Okay, you can use up arrow key from your keyboard if you want to execute the commands you have executed in past. Okay, press enter. Quickly check what is inside this file. So you can see now two lines got added inside this file. So what I'm doing, I'm again performing my copy operations. Let's do it. This time, if you are going to refresh, my versioning is disabled. That is true because I had not enabled versioning at the time of bucket creation. You can also ensure that by going to properties and bucket versioning is disabled. So without versioning enabled, you can see at a time only one copy of an object is present. Means the older one will be overwritten by the latest one. And even you can check this from here. You can see you only have the latest copy of the object. This is the first default behavior when the versioning is not enabled. Okay. Now, what is the second default behavior, everybody? The second default behavior is if you are going to delete an object. So this delete operation or this delete action is the permanent delete action. Means your object will be permanently deleted. And there is no chance, there is no way to restore this object back. Okay. So type permanently delete and click on delete objects. Your object is gone away. You can't restore this object back. You can see. So these are the two default behaviors you have to understand before you are going to enable versioning. Because when you will be enabling versioning, it is going to help you out. Okay. So let's go to properties and let's enable versioning this time, everybody. So click on enable and save changes. So versioning is enabled. How can you ensure this? As soon as you enable versioning, you will be seeing a switch, or you can also call it as a toggle button. Okay, what this toggle button says, or what this toggle button does. So here at this particular side, you will be seeing the object, and if you are going to switch to this toggle button, you will be seeing the object versions of that specific object. Let me show you. I'm following the same, everybody. I am quickly editing this file, and this time I want to overwrite the content just to start from scratch. So I am creating a simple file by saying I am learning versioning. Everybody, you can also upload the data file in the S3 bucket. It can be a CSV file, it can be any other file of your type. This is just to make you understand the concept, and that's the reason I'm taking the TXT file. Okay, let's press enter here. If you want to display the content, so this is the line I have added. Okay, a new line, or you can say that I have overwrite the existing file just to start from scratch. Okay, execute the copy command again. I'm using the up arrow key to avoid typing. Come back, and this object is uploaded. Now always remember, on this side of toggle button you have object. On this side of toggle button you have object versions. Each object will be assigned a unique version ID. So currently I have only one copy of this test.txt. Let's upload another copy, everybody. So same command, and this time I'm writing uploading another copy of object in S3. Okay, I'm going to append this. Before I'm going to perform copy operation, let me show you something. If I will be selecting this object, taking the URL, paste it here in the browser, I will be seeing the first copy of the object. And as soon as I'm going to use this copy command, if I will be refreshing it, I will be seeing the latest copy of this object. But when you enabled versioning, what happened, everybody? You can see two copies of the object stored here, each with a unique version ID. Means unlike versioning disabled bucket, here we have multiple copies of an object or multiple variants of an object stored in the S3 bucket. Each is having a unique version ID. So now if a question comes to you that if I want to retrieve a specific version of this object, select the object version, I will be saying copy the URL and paste the URL in the browser. Okay, now forget about this access denied. Obviously, we are going to talk about it, or we are going to understand how to troubleshoot it. Right now, I want to tell you what is the difference between these two URLs. The difference is this version ID. If you have to retrieve or fetch an object version, that will be having a version ID in the URL. Okay. Now let's come back to access denied. So I will be helping you out to troubleshoot, and then you have to troubleshoot by yourself. See, if you have to be at any role in the industry, you have to develop good debugging skills. And how you develop good debugging skills? When you are relating the concepts. For example, whenever I talk about access, access means something related to permissions. And if I am getting access denied, it means I don't have a permission. But maybe all of you would be thinking that just now we had used policy generator to create a policy. Fine, totally agree. But what type of actions you have allowed in that policy generator or using that policy generator, that also we have to ensure. Like here, you are performing the action called get object, but here you are performing the action called get object version. So let's see. Go to permissions and see your bucket policy. Do you have any such access called get object version? The answer is no. So let's provide it. So you may be thinking that we needed to generate a policy again using policy generator. No. You can directly provide or directly add an action here. How? On the right hand side, you are seeing an option to edit a statement. First of all, choose a service. S3 is a service, obviously. What type of actions you want to provide? Get object version. Select it. You can see it got appended here. And simply say save changes. As soon as you have done it, this time you are allowing two actions to be performed on this bucket. Let's refresh it. and you are going to get your result back, everybody. Okay, so what you have seen how can we enable versioning, how can we get the latest copy of the object, how can we get the specific version of the object. Okay, now this part would be clear to all of you.